John here, all miniatures great and small. Today I'm going to be talking about my latest 3D printing terrain project. So I've got just a few pieces here of the basically Tyranid Terrain for Warhammer 40k. I guess you could use this for any kind of alien type terrain. It's not specifically Games Workshop or Tyranid. These models aren't aren't Games Workshop. They are community, actually free STLs that you can find on the various STL sites, and they're really cool. You could use them for 40k. You could use them for like any kind of science fiction-y theme, and they're really nice. I really appreciate the community that's kind of built up around stuff like this, where you're not necessarily infringing on any kind of copyright as far as 3D printing an exact duplicate of a Tyranid warrior or whatever. But it definitely, with a 3D printer, opens up possibilities for terrain, and it was one of the motivating factors in getting the Bamboo P1P that I have, the filament printer, for printing things just like this. So I've got quite a bit here, and we've got video of me painting some of this, so you can see what that looks like as well. And then here's one that is kind of more along in the process. You can see, even though that's just the one consistent color of Agros Dunes, that where the white was stronger, we have highlights. Where the white was weaker, or I left it black, we have shadow. Same thing here. And then I need to go in and paint these spikes and stuff by hand. Once I painted this, I realized that there was a carapace or a bug here, so I'm gonna need to go back and paint that blue. And then some of these have like cool, I guess, absorption ponds or pools or something like that. So I did buy some UV resin. I want to make little pools of grossness in there, so I thought I would do that. So I left that white so I could put a suitably bright and gross looking green or brown in there. But anyway, so we'll show you a little bit of the process as we go along too. Now this stuff is still in progress, but I just thought I'd show it off. In the video you saw, you know, how I painted this with an airbrush and contrast paints for the most part. The idea with the terrain is I didn't want to spend a ton of time on it. I could spend hours and hours and hours on a single piece just like this and you know, have it look maybe twice as better given my skill level. But is it worth it? No. To me anyway. I'd rather be painting miniatures and playing on this cool terrain. But conversely, I don't want it to look like garbage either, and that's the challenge, is finding something that's acceptable to you. So you kind of saw how I painted these. Now I also wanted to add I forget what they call them, like absorption pools or reclamation pools or whatever, where the Tyranids absorb the matter or the mass of the, you know, the biological mass of the planet, or just, you know, a gross looking pool. I tried green, and I think I have a test piece with that I'm going to be changing. And this is just using some liquid UV resin. I'll show you that in a second. And this was some green contrast paint, and I thought it was cool, but not it wasn't popping for me. So then I went with more red. And you can see that here. Same concept. And I really like this. Now, in hindsight, I think it's a little bit too red. Some people might find that a little bit too disturbing. I mean, I like it, but it is rather stark and bright red and could be a little jarring. If I were to do this project over again, I might tap that down a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, I need to see this with the whole army in play. This was made, or this effect was made using, like I said, some UV resin. Here's another piece with a lot more blood in it, which is kind of cool. This is kind of like, I think, the biggest piece, or at least the most solid piece. I'll see if anyone wants to put snipers up there in that. So, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, it looks disgusting and gooey. Every time I show my wife, she kind of squeals and says, ah. But I think it looks really cool. Now, again, to do that effect, I used this stuff. And I just purchased it on Amazon. There are some, like, hobby-specific ones, but I find that they're much more expensive for much less. So this is designed for making like jewelry and stuff, or, you know, that market, and it's not bad. And you get 200 grams, which is a lot more than some of the other, you know, hobby specific ones I've seen. Then I did use some Blood for the Blood God, which is a Citadel technical paint. Mixed a little bit of that in with the resin. And it's really nice. I mean, you don't have to wait for this stuff to harden. You just use a UV light, like I've got a UV flashlight right here. But you could use, I also have my UV curing station for resin. The smaller pieces I could put in there and cure it that way. And you just shine it on that for a few minutes, and it, you know, it just hardens right up. And it's very, you know, it's very durable. It's a clear resin. But yeah, so let me, before we wrap this up, let me kind of spread this out and kind of give you an idea of what a table might look like. Oh, another thing that I'm doing for this project is, I don't know if it works, but I ordered some very cheap, what is this, like aquarium vegetation. And then I painted it, and it took paint surprisingly well. You know, it comes out of the package like green plastic, and you can kind of see some of the green that I kept in there. I wanted the foliage to look like it's, you know, slowly being transformed. And I used some of the same color that I used there. And I got a whole bag of this, so I figure I'd spread it out you know, up against something or in something, I think just can add a little bit to the terrain. And not all of this is done. Like I said, I need to put blood pools in this one, for example, there and there. I will link the files I found these. I don't know the lineage of these pieces, and if you are the designer of these pieces, go ahead and sound off in the comments so we can promote the right person. I know they've been remixed and had compilations and stuff like that, but I'll put the links down to the ones that I found in the comments below so you can do it. But let's get this set up so we can kind of imagine what the game's going to look like. I am going to order a different mat for this, but you can see all the terrain I've printed. I think this will be sufficient for a game of 40K. We can kind of see it scaled to a Hive Tyrant there. Good old Swarm Lord. You can kind of get the scale. So, not bad, not bad. I'm excited to actually play with this. We will try to feature it in a battle report in a future video, but for now, we're still a work in progress. As always, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. If you like this content, please do consider clicking like and subscribe. I don't do a ton of Warhammer content just because there's so much out there, but I will cover it when it's something that personally kind of excites me. Like, I'm looking forward to playing this. 10th edition so far has been fun for 40K, and with emphasizing the Tyranids, I thought I would do something fun. Alright guys, again, thanks for watching. Please do consider that like and subscribe. Click the bell to receive notifications of new content. Sound off down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Keep on gaming, guys. Take care.